Here we are, we're on our next tour. We are on the camping and caravan tour of Belgium and France, a World War I centenary tour, and at the moment we're in Bruges. So we're all with this lot. What do you think, guys? We're now going on a riverboat ride.
In Brussels, our guide took us on a tour of the city. We started at the Atonium Iron Crystal building, which stands over 100 metres tall. This is the Grand Plaza, which is beautiful with its variety of architecture from various eras in the surrounding buildings. There's even a beer museum.
Hannah-Cam pee.
Yeah,
it's a little boy pee. It's a symbol of peeing on your enemy.
And he changes clothes.
Is that what we said?
Twice a day. Yeah.
Got different uniforms.
We ended up at the Planete Chocolat for an excellent and humorous demonstration of making Belgian chocolates. A member of our tour, Maggie, was the lucky one to assist with making the pralines. Many chocolates were bought before we left the shop.
Not 1 kilometer and a half.
We are in Bedford Cemetery, just outside Ypres, and this is the place where my great-great-uncle Ambrose Ashfield Pitson is buried. He was in the First World War, and he died at age 17, private, and we're going to hunt out his gravestone. And I think Zoe's just found it. It's an amazing view he's got, look at this. Wonderful.
98-96, Private A.A. Pitson, Oxford and Bucks, Light Infantry, 21st of October 1914, age 21.
Which is wrong because he was 17, he must have lied.
Oh, I see. And then at the bottom of the grave, Father, brothers and sisters, may God have you in his keeping till we meet again.
So that was Ambrose. He joined the Great War in August, and by October he was dead. 17 years old. Makes you think, doesn't it? Very hot day today. This is we are now in Ypres. Behind us is the cathedral.
Which we're going to know, it's the museum.
Oh, it's the museum.
Flanders Museum.
Yeah, and this place, Ypres, was basically the base for the World War I British Allied forces. And the Germans, they flattened it. There's only a few bits left, but they rebuilt it over the years. And it looks amazing now. And it still looks old, even though it's, I guess, under 100 years old. Yeah, so it's really cool.
Arrived at the Menin Gate in Ieper, and this is where they had the last post ceremony at 8 PM every day to remember the war dead. The walls are covered in names of people who've died in the Great War, and there's thousands of people here. It's incredible. What an atmosphere.
Today we are on a coach tour of the area around Flanders to see places of significant interest, such as Tyne Cot Cemetery, which is where we are now. There are gravestones here as far as the eye can see. You're now looking at Tyne Cot Wall. This is where all the names of those that are missing. It's about 35,000 names all the way around there. It's massive. William Richard Pitson, he's a great cousin of mine, cousin to Ambrose Pitson. We are now at Langemark, which is a cemetery for the German fallen. So here we have the German cemetery, and that there is the mass grave containing thousands of German soldiers, and all the way around the edge here are stones with thousands of names on either side of the stone. Very much different to the Commonwealth cemetery.
This is the trench of death. Diksmuide.
I'm not too sure how much of this is new or has been restored, but it's all very claustrophobic. Trenches are very twisty, they don't go in a straight line. So if the enemy drops in, they don't have a direct line of fire. These sandbags are really hard now. I guess they've been sitting here for decades. And just, oh yeah, I mean, you can still see the material that they're in, but they're rock hard. Just imagine, couldn't you? Peeking over the top, not seeing the enemy, but knowing where they are. It's quite a drop down there. I mean, if, you know, on top of the trench, if you had to jump down there, it's quite a distance. We are currently in Essex Farm Cemetery. This is the monument to Lieutenant Colonel John McCrae, who wrote In Flanders Fields. And John McCrae was a doctor in the Canadian Army, and this is the field hospital where he would have worked.
We have left Belgium and the beers, and now we're in France and the wine. And today we're all on a tour of the Valley of the Somme.
We are in Lochnaga, which is a crater memorial. A tunnel was dug to the German front line by the British Army. Massive amounts of explosives were put into the tunnel, and then it was ignited, which caused this massive crater. And apparently it was so large that British troops in their trenches 200 metres away were injured by it, just through the force of the shockwave.
We are now at Thiepval Cemetery. It's a Commonwealth cemetery, and look at that, it's massive. Beautiful. It's a massive thing, massive structure. And yes, on a hill actually, overlooking the Valley of the Somme. Very beautiful place.
Let's go and check it out.
Yes.
On each one of these panels there are hundreds of names. This one, about there, is Leech. Leech J.Y. I wonder if I'm a relation. We're now at Newfoundland. It's a monument. All the trees and the rocks, everything was imported after the war from Newfoundland in Canada. And in Newfoundland they've actually preserved the trenches because an awful lot of soldiers died here, and we're currently on the British side.
And here they've actually made it walkable, this particular part of the trench. But you can't see much. Take a look. I mean, looking over the edge, you couldn't see much. You couldn't see the enemy until they're right on top of you, like these guys.
So this is the German front. I haven't walked very far. In fact, just over there is the Moose statue, the Newfoundland monument. Here we have another cemetery. I think this might be the third in such a tiny area.
It's just incredible to think that there's such a small area of land was you know, where thousands of men were killed, both sides of the war. And I mean, all these trees, they would have been blown to bits. There would have been nothing here. Grass would have been just mud. Trees would have been sticks. Incredible to think that is how it looks now. Here we are. This is the last day. This is our evening meal with everybody together.
So we've finished our tour.
This is the end of the tour, and tomorrow we're going home.
Yes, back to normal.
Back to normal. And this is everybody